ongoing war in Ukraine and the impact it has had, especially on developing and least developing nations still recovering from the pandemic and economic disruption. The three F's, food, fuel and fertilizers, were issues of special concern. Another subject that was addressed by them, as the Sherpa noted, was countering terrorism and money laundering. The leaders condemned terrorism in all its forms and manifestations and recognized that it constitutes one of the more serious threats to international peace and security. So, in conclusion, as you can all see, all G20 member states have come to New Delhi with a strong sense of responsibility about addressing the most pressing global challenges. Speaking for India, we are clear that no one left behind, as the finance minister highlighted. No one left behind is as much a foreign policy goal as it is a domestic one. Indeed, it should be a global one. Obviously, there are differing viewpoints and interests at play in regard to the various issues under discussion. However, we have been able to find common ground on all of them. As a result, we can justifiably state that under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's guidance, the New Delhi summit has given clear directions for the growth and development of the global economy in the years ahead. We would be glad to respond to your queries. History of working together, bear in mind that actually you have 4 developing countries in succession as G20 presidency: Indonesia, us, Brazil and South Africa. So, but I would say, rather than who helped, the point to be recognized is that a common landing point was ultimately fashioned out. On the Black Sea grain corridor, there are many discussions going on. As you know, the Foreign Minister of Russia is here. The President of Turkey and his delegation are here. UN Secretary General is here. Other people are here. So it's natural that there would be discussions going on this. In the past, I should add, when the Green Corridor was created at Bali last year, we had also, in our own way, contributed to some bridging of viewpoints and concerns, both between at that time between Turkey and Russia, and also worked with the UN Secretary General. On the sentence, or that phrase about having different viewpoints and assessments, I think we are being transparent. I mean, it is a fact. This is today a very polarizing issue. There are multiple views on this. There are a spectrum of views on this. So I think, in all fairness, it was only right to record what was the reality in the meeting rooms, and I think that is the sense that is sought to be captured. It is not, what India has tried to do, beginning with our presidency, was to seek to ensure that the concerns of the global south constitute the core agenda of the G20 deliberations. Because after 3 years of pandemic, after economic disruptions of various kinds, after the impact of the Ukraine conflict, after climate events, the fact is that the countries of the global south are in deep economic distress. And that distress has not, in our view, been fully recognized till now. We therefore very consciously started off with the Voice of the Global South Summit. But again, I emphasize, the voice was of the summit. It was the voice of 125 countries who participated in that summit. But we, as the G20 presidency, We saw it as our responsibility of distilling the views which were expressed in that summit and putting it before the rest of the G20. And we can take a lot of satisfaction that many of the issues that the finance minister highlighted, which the Sherpa highlighted, these are truly global south issues, and we hope that certainly the Delhi summit and the deliberations which will take place today and tomorrow would give strong guidance to take them forward. Jakarta East Asia Summit as well, where the Prime Minister was there. Prime Minister did speak to a number of his counterparts with regard to what was under discussion at this summit. It is the responsibility of the Sherpa and of the ministers to put together the multiple strands and harmonize it into a document. But at the end of the day, I mean, I obviously do not want to go into very specific details, but at the end of the day, there are always gaps and issues and viewpoints. And I think today, especially Prime Minister's talking to a number of leaders during the day, his meetings yesterday with some of them, with others during the Jakarta meeting of the ES, I think were all very, very influential, or I would say almost determining in producing an outcome. और जो आखिरी सवाल जो आपका था, उसकी गति माने बहुत तेज़ गति से हुई। मैं आप लोगों को एक याद दिलाना चाहता हूं कि जो बाली समिट के दौरान, बाली के समिट के अंत में जो उस समय अफ्रीकन यूनियन के अध्यक्ष जो थे, सेनेगल के राष्ट्रपति थे मैकीसॉल, तो वो उस समय प्रधानमंत्री और इंडोनेशिया के राष्ट्रपति के पास आए और उनकी शिकायत थी कि G20 की सदस्यता के बारे में जो अफ्रीकन यूनियन का जो हक जो बनता है उस पर बिल्कुल चर्चा नहीं हुई थी। तो उस समय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने उनको आश्वासन दिया था कि भारत के अध्यक्षता में ये मैं ज़रूर करवाऊंगा। जो मुझे याद है, उन्होंने कहा कि ये मोदी की गारंटी है, और ये गारंटी आपने देखा है कि आज उन्होंने पूरा इसको डिलीवर किया है। और कुछ ही दिन पहले जब हम लोग ब्रिक्स के शिखर सम्मेलन में थे, उस समय वही राष्ट्रपति मैकीसॉल जी वो प्रधानमंत्री के पास आए और उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे याद है कि आपने ये वादा किया था और मुझे बहुत मैं आपकी तारीफ़ करता हूँ कि आपने पूरा जोर लगाया था उसमें।